Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to have Nancee Soisson with me here today, and she is the author of A Long Journey Backward from Darkness to Light. Nancee, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Well, the first thing I have to say is that it is a sequel that I had published a book in 2019. It's called A Child from the Inside Out. And this book chronicles the first 7 years of my relationship with Lucinda. And this is Lucinda. She came to me for counseling while I was still a student counselor, very green, knowing nothing. She was the 24 years old. This was in 1989. She was 24 years old, the mother of three young boys, five, three, and a baby. And she was finding that she was struggling with anger that was spilling out on the boys. So she came to me, and despite my inexperience, we were able to really connect, and a very strong therapeutic relationship developed. Within that relationship, lots of material began to surface. And we discovered that she had been severely abused as a child, both sexually and also what we call satanic ritual abuse. She had been abused in a satanic cult, and that her personality had been shattered into many different pieces. So that was the first 7 years. We're working together. That's where the second book, A Long Journey Backward, see that, picks up. At this point, she's made a lot of progress. She has overcome suicidal ideation, which was a constant struggle. She's overcome self-harming. She's well on her way to a much healthier life. So we start working in the second book, and we're carrying on our work, but then something very dark and very sinister comes up. And she starts down a path of present abuse. So this was very hard for me. It's one thing when you're dealing with abuse that's 20 years in the past. Now we're dealing with abuse that's going on presently. And I began to fall apart. So I became emotionally very distraught. Our rock solid relationship began to crumble. Everything seemed to be falling apart. But in the end, it's with the help of a friend who comes alongside of her, another therapist, because at this point I needed therapy of my own, and actually a messenger from God. With those three things, she comes to the end of her ordeal, and I find a lot of inner healing of my own. So these two books together are really a memoir. It tells the story of our relationship over a period of 15 years or so. I had the incredible privilege of having a front row seat to see God's transforming power in her life. I witnessed some truly incredible events, things that I could not have made up. This story could not have been made up. It's truly out of the box, nor is it for the faint of the heart. It's a very tragic story, but it is a testament to the resilience of the human mind to adapt and survive, and to the transforming power of God. I believe it's a very hope-giving story. Lucinda, would you like to say anything more?
I think when I look back at it, I would probably never change a thing because of where I am today with God. My life had a real bad situation, but God turned it around and took me out of darkness into light.
This sounds like a really powerful story of healing, and one that is going to possibly help a lot of other people as well. Nancee, what was your inspiration for writing the book?
Well, I went through it with her. It was a story that had to be told. It is such an incredible story. There's so many things in here that are so aberrant, so out of what most people normally experience in their lives. And the story had to be told. And Lucinda is uneducated, doesn't really have the skills to write a book. So the story was mine to write. So I just sat down and started writing.
Well, I'm so glad you decided to write it. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the story or the message or about yourself?
People who have read the book or the books tell me that in one way it's a very easy book to read, in that even though it's a memoir, it's written like a novel. So there's lots of suspense, there's lots of unexpected twists and turns, and I've been told it's been very hard for a lot of people to put down. But on the other hand, it's a very hard book to read because of the material that is covered. There is horrific abuse that is highlighted in the book. So some people have told me that when they read it, they have to kind of put it down for a while and step back and then go back to it later. So it's both. It's an easy book to read. It's a hard book to read. Would you have anything to add to that?
Well, I noticed me going to church and stuff, I have shared it there, and people are buying the book, and people are encouraged and see that with God at work. They really do see that. They see the abuse and stuff, and it's very saddening for them. But they see me sitting there, and they see a testimony, and that's what's powerful.
Oh, I love that. It sounds like it's a page turner, and
it is.
Yeah, like I feel like true stories are, well, a lot of times the best stories, and the best way for us to learn things are from other people.
Now, there were times when I really struggled with, can these things you be telling me, can they possibly be true? And that's part of the story, as I wrestle with those questions, and how I always end up back at the place of, this has got to be true. This is real stuff. So that was part of my process in all of this.
Plus, I wear the scars of the abuse too. I mean, it shows.
Well, I'm so grateful for the healing that's been done for you, Lucinda. For anyone who's interested in picking up a copy of this book, again, it's by Nancee Soisson, and it's called A Long Journey Backward from Darkness to Light. You can get it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Apple Books, just to name a few. Thank you so much, ladies, for being with us today. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.